Hello, this is John Kopke for Progressive Building Inspections. Today it's September 17th, 2013. Today it's a clear day. It's about, well, it might be 60 degrees right now. We're at 118 Joan Drive in Barrington. Now this is going to be a visual inspection, which means I'm going to do things, let's say for instance, I'll walk the roof, go in the attic, crawl space, basement, and look at walls and floors and surfaces to let me know what's right, what's wrong. I do not do any destructive testing. For instance, poking holes in the wall, ceiling, digging up the foundation. That's all beyond the scope of this inspection. I have to go by what's visibly evident, and this even includes the interior, which means I look at the walls and floors are exposed. I do not start moving people's belongings all around, examine them all. Now, if I do suspect something's wrong, I will try to move the object and look behind it, otherwise I do not. On the major appliances, I check the basic operation. For instance, the stove, I check the burners, I check the oven, I check the carbon monoxide levels, but I don't do things such as send it through a self-cleaning cycle or check the timers. Also on the appliances, it's visual, which means I go by visual signs. For instance, the dishwasher, I'll run it through a cycle, look for apparent leaks, check to see if it appears to be working properly, but I do not pull it out of the cabinet and disassemble it trying to find something wrong. Also on the appliance, I do not check the performance or their adequacy. For instance, the clothes washer and dryer, I'll run it through a cycle, look for apparent leaks, check to see if it appears to be working properly, but I do not put a load of dirty laundry in it, then make an assessment on how well it cleans and dries. I do not work for the village of Barrington, and I'm not representing them, so it's not a code type inspection. Many times the inspectors will use their own judgment, and at the same time, each town is different, so therefore they may require something that I'm unfamiliar with. This is not an environmental hazard type inspection where I'm looking, for instance, buried oil tanks, asbestos, mold, or so forth. If you do want a radon test, I can do one, but there is an added charge. I am not an exterminator, so it's not an insect rodent type inspection. Cosmetic items, let's say for instance, stains in the carpeting, nail pops, are the type of items I normally do not point out because they do not affect the function of the property. I'm going to be doing things, let's say for instance, checking to see if the roof appears to be leaking, visually inspecting the structure, visually inspecting the furnace to see if it appears to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. That's what I'm doing today, is I'm visually inspecting the property, checking its function, checking to see if things appear to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. I am going to try my best to try to find out everything that is right and that is wrong, but I can't guarantee I'm going to find it all. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to give me a call because I will try to help you with advice and so forth. I'm going to continue on with the inspection. Now the driveway is asphalt and it is in satisfactory condition. Now walking up here, you have a metal overhead garage door and it's in satisfactory condition. Overall, the siding appears to be in pretty good condition. When you move in, I recommend to install soffit ventilation. You should have 1 square foot of ventilation per 150 square feet of ceiling area. The pavers by the front entryway is beautiful. I operated the hose bib and it works properly. I like your front door, how they open up. The front outlet was properly wired, but the exterior outlet should be GFCI protected. I would pull the soil away from the siding right here. Windows obviously need repair. And I talked to Lisa and it sounded like you're aware of that already. I like the stonework. When you move in, you need to keep this tree trimmed back so animals do not climb onto your roof. I'm going to turn off the camera. I'll be right back. Here I'm on the south part of the property. The flue pipes are supposed to be 4 feet away from any door or window opening. So if you buy windows, I would buy a fixed window so you do not have the temptation of opening it up. Because if the wind's blowing that direction, the flue gases can go in the home, and that's why they have that requirement. Main gas shutoff valve is located right here. If you have a sprinkler system, that is not part of the inspection. If it's a concern of yours, I would have an expert or the seller verify if it works. The air conditioners are 17 years old and they're 3-ton units. And I have a feeling it's not going to get warm enough today to turn them on. If it does, I will. The floor joists, when you move in, keep them well sealed and caulked where they go into the home. The hose bib works. I would like to see this patio a little bit lower than what it is against the siding, because the moisture will wick up. The deck appears to be well built. I'm going to continue on. I'll be right back. Right here, I would remove the debris and soil away and try to get the water flowing further away from the house at this location, just because it'll help prevent insect and moisture type problems. You can see the soil has settled greatly by the step here and here, and over by the garage door further down. Usually I say it's a tripping hazard, but this is approaching a fall hazard. Hose bib works. Ooh. Now, overall, I think the deck is in pretty good condition, but there are a couple of planks over in this location which have rot. Some of the top handrail boards need replacing. You can see this board has some rot in this board, and I was looking at the handrail here. It's beginning to rot. The workmanship on the here's some rot down here on the deck is actually good. The carpenters that worked on this had pride of workmanship. The outlets appear to be properly wired except for the one over here. This one has an open ground, but all exterior outlets should be GFCI protected. Here I'm down in the basement. Now this is a 48-gallon unit, and it is the water heater is 10 years old, and it passed a carbon monoxide test. This is the pressure release valve extension. The floor joists are 2x12, 16-inch on center. This is the plumbing right here. I did not see any leaks at this time. Now, one furnace is 110,000 BTU unit input, and the other one is an 80,000. The filters are on the small side, and what I'm worried about is air getting by the filter and clogging up the evaporator coil. These are the evaporator coils. I recommend having them cleaned. I do not know if they're dirty or not. The furnaces are 10 years old, and they pass a carbon monoxide test. The air conditioners were not tested today. You have signs of past mice activity down here. What I would do is I would use sprayed foam sealant up in the band joist, and I think I would even spray it against the wall all the way down to insulate the basement walls. It'll keep the dampness out and the mice out. I'm going to turn off the camera and I'll be right back. Right here is your well equipment, and it was not inspected. They're using specialty well services. Their phone number is area code 815-790-7437. That's phone number 815-790-7437. I recommend using the people who installed it because they'll be most familiar with it. Now, the company that installed this water softener, I believe this is their phone number, 847-628-3931. That's 847-628-3931. If you find that you're getting particles in your water, There is a plastic liner in here, and that means it has broken and it's going to clog up your faucets and shower heads. You need to turn these to bypass. If they become clogged, now you need to flush them out. And I would get a specialist that does water softeners. Right here is your ejector pump. I recommend installing a high water sensor alarm. In case this pump fails, you'll know to quit using the plumbing down the basement until it's replaced. The tub drain drains slowly. Well, it has gone down now. No apparent leaks underneath around the toilet or underneath the sink. In all damp locations, you should have GFC ice. That'd be the exterior, garage, bathrooms, and within 6 feet of the kitchen sink. Now, your plans are to remove and replace the windows, and the patio doors and the exterior doors, so they're not inspected. The outlets, which I had tested, appear to be properly wired. I recommend not having, I don't like this arrangement with the log starter and this heatilator, because I'm worried about logs and debris coming out of the fireplace and causing a fire. So I would reinstall the log starter. The damper worked properly. The basement appears to be dry. Ceiling does not show any apparent leaks. I opened up the electrical panel. The newer standards require the panel to be grounded and bonded where the main disconnect is, and that's inside the house. You have one double tap breaker, and those are safety concerns. I'm going to continue on. I'll be right back. Here I'm upstairs now. I operated the shower. The flow was good. There were no leaks underneath the sinks in all damp locations like bathrooms, kitchens, garage, exterior. You should have GFCI outlets. This room does not have a fan. The old code would allow you to have a window. You may want to install a fan. No leaks underneath the sink. Outlet was properly wired. Ceiling did not have any signs of leaks. It's in good condition. Continuing in here, the outlets which I had tested appear to be properly wired. Ceiling does not show any apparent leaks. It's in good condition. Continuing down the hall, this ceiling does not have any signs of leaks. I operated this fireplace damper and looked at the fireplace firebox. It was in good condition. Ceiling does not have signs of leaks. Solid wood beams supporting the house. The outlets which I had tested appear to be properly wired. Doorbell works. I operated the skylights. I operated the door. Going over here, the outlets which I had tested appear to be properly wired. The ceiling does not have any signs of leaks. It's in good condition. Continuing into the bathroom, there were no leaks underneath the sink or around the toilet. I tested this outlet, appear to be properly wired. This has a window for ventilation too. Continuing into the kitchen, you have a laminate type floor. I operated the burners. I operated the fan, appears to be vented to the outside. The refrigerator, I emptied the ice maker hoping that it would make ice, but it does not make ice. Water dispenser works. The refrigerator appears to be working properly. I ran the dishwasher through a full cycle. There aren't any leaks. I closed the soap dish. The soap dish has opened. I operated both the upper and lower elements on both ovens. The ceiling does not have any signs of leaks. Hang on for 1 minute. There goes the fan. There goes the light. Continuing into the family room area, ceiling does not have any signs of leaks. I operated this damper, looked at the firebox. I believe these are old stains. I'm going to grab my ladder and I will check them to see if they're wet. Right here, the patch or moisture stain on the ceiling is dry. Going down the hallway, the ceiling did not have signs of leaks. You have one smoke detector here. If you ever buy a carbon monoxide detector, I recommend to use CO Expert because they'll go off at lower levels of carbon monoxide. If you buy photoelectric, smoke detectors. Buy photoelectric because they're more sensitive. They don't give false alarms. Ceiling does not show apparent leaks. The outlets, which I had tested, appear to be properly wired. Continuing over here. In the bathroom, there were no leaks underneath the sinks. Over here, you have a fan. In here, I operated the shower. The flow was good. There are no leaks around the toilet. Continuing into this bedroom, the outlets which I had tested appear to be properly wired. The ceiling did not have any signs of leaks. Continuing into the laundry room, the washer and dryer both work properly, dryer is gas. Ceiling does not have any signs of leaks. Continuing into the garage door operator works properly, safety reverse works properly. The ceiling does not have any signs of leaks, it's in good condition. I tested the outlets, appear to be properly wired. I'm going to continue on, I'll be right back. Here I'm up in the attic. You have rafters that are 2 by 10, 16-inch on center. I don't see any signs of leaks. If this were my home, I would probably add about 6 inches of blown cellulose insulation to the top. Now you have signs of past mice activity up here. Adding 6 inches of blown cellulose will minimize rodent problems in your attic. If a bathroom fan here, I recommend to vent it through the roof. Do not see any mold, but you may have mold in the future. I'm going to continue on, I'll be right back. This is the end of the inspection. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to give me a call. Also, review the written report, review the videotape. Let your attorney and Lisa know what your concerns are so they can help protect your interest. Also, review them both and get second opinions regarding the inspection and the purchase because we want you to be happy with your decision. When you do the walkthrough prior to closing, please visually inspect the property one more time and recheck all the appliances to make sure everything still does work. I want to thank you very much for hiring me. If you think I've done a good job, please let Lisa know, let a friend know, let a lawyer know, let a loan officer know, because my business is all referrals and every day need another job. Thanks again. I wish you luck. Bye-bye.